What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I am looking hella crazy. I am fighting ear infections as well as a sinus infection as well as something's happening with my throat. But I am surviving. And basically, this whole area right here, all of this area right here needs prayer. Okay? But we're not here to talk about that. Don't even worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. We handling all that. What we here to talk about is Power Season 4, Episode 2. Things are going to get worse. Okay, you guys? This episode was crazy. All right. First of all, let's talk about James and Angela. James and Angela are in the basically the same situation, and they are ironically have very similar ideas as to how they are going to put the nail in each other's coffin. Unfortunately, it's a dumb idea for both of them, which is to expose their relationship as it pertains to Knox and Knox's death on stand. And we find out neither one of them can take the stand. James can't take the stand because James cannot be caught in a lie in any kind of way. He cannot be scrutinized. Plus, bringing out the story about he and Angela and what they had going on makes his motive for killing Knox that much stronger. Angela can't talk about it because not only was you fucking James on company dime and company time, it's gonna look like you and your whole office kind of set him up a little bit because maybe he scorned you. Maybe you was going back to Knox. You know what I'm saying? You broke up with Knox to get with James, and you broke up James to get with Knox. It looks bad. We can't put you on the stand, and since everybody in the office knew about the relationships and what was going on, we can't afford to have them all called in as witnesses and therefore put on the stand. And he even questions her. Mock does questions her about when she, when she made filed that claim or that report against Knox, saying that he was he was harassing her and stalking her, and got him suspended. I mean, she ought to feel so little and so small and so used up that she was, swinging around and around the merry-go bush with a bevy of cocks. Anyway, like I said, they both have come to the conclusion that neither of them can take the stand, and they don't want to lead with this whole Jamie Angela sleeping together story. Instead, Mark comes up with the idea that he wants to lead with Ghost and James, meaning that James worked for Ghost and Ghost gave the word to James to off Knox. Okay? This is the story that Mark wants to go with. And they go all in on this story. Okay? They go so far into it. And Angela is right there with it. Now, she wants to be there with her ear, to the wire. She wants to be brought in on everything. And Mark just tells her it's a conflict of interest. We can't have you involved in this. But she does suggest that they bug Tommy and they follow Tommy. They put a tail on Tommy. She does suggest that, and she sort of starts this ball to rolling, and then she goes ahead and tries to put the nail in the proverbial coffin by suggesting that Tommy Egan, is Ghost, and that he needs to have this tail on him. Now, starting this puts Mock in another position where he goes even that much further, but we're going to talk about it, all right? But all of this is at the behest of Angela. Just for the record, we don't like that bitch. We don't like her. No. All right. Let's talk about Tasha and the kids. Tasha's starting to crack a little bit. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. She's starting to crack a little bit. So she's talking to kids over breakfast, and she tells them Dad's not coming home. He's going to be in there a little while longer. Tariq wants to know if that means he's guilty. And Tasha's like, no, 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 your dad's not guilty. Your dad would never do anything like this. You know that. Your dad's not like that. And Tariq is just like, and of course, Raina, she's eating it all up. She's daddy's girl. She also tells him we don't talk about Ghost. We don't call him Ghost. We're not doing any of that. What goes on in this house stays in this house. And Tariq has a couple of more slick things to say, and he and Raina kind of get into it, and that just frazzles Tasha that much more. Goes on and takes the kids to school, and she's telling them, giving them the rundown once again. What goes on in the family house stays in the family house. We don't talk to anybody about Ghost. We don't talk about Ghost. We don't bring Ghost up. And we want to see your dad later on. He needs to know that we all support him. And he wants to express to you guys his innocence. So you guys don't have to worry about him. We are going to beat this. Raina's like, cool, mom, no problem. She gets on out the car and goes on inside. Well, of course, Tasha wants to talk to Tariq for a minute because, she wants to just let him know, Tariq, we're dependent on you. And Tariq doesn't really want to go see his dad. He doesn't really want to get involved with his dad because he's been sipping from the fountain of Canaan, who is a manipulative, evil, torturous bastard. And he has got Tariq so, wound up. You would think he was, I mean, he got him hook, line, and sinker. And Tasha makes mention to Tariq about dad used to have a friend back in the day, back in the hood, named Canaan. You ever heard of Canaan? And Tariq is like, no. Mm-mm. Now, she doesn't mention that Canaan was Sean's dad. She doesn't mention anything about that, even though Tariq and Sean was kind of close, okay? But she doesn't say anything about that. She just wants to know if he knows the name Canaan. Now, she don't know that Tariq is telling the truth. He knows Canaan as Slim. All right. But, as she's talking to him and just trying to get him, together a little bit, there's a photographer there. He's taking a picture, and Tasha gets upset. She gets out the car and she tells him, stop, don't mess with me and my kids. And the guy just keeps taking the picture. Y'all know how what assholes paparazzis are. And she throws the camera on the guy, and the guy's like, lady, I'm gonna sue. All the mothers are standing out there watching. Of course, they're clutching their pearls. Tariq gets out and walks past Tasha and says, great way, this is how we're handling things, mom. All right. Tariq could use a good backhand. He could use a real quick out of the blue slap. Don't nothing daze you like a good mama slap and bring you back to reality, especially when you think you up here and you smarter than. I blame Tariq's behavior and the fact that Tariq is so easily misled and led away and led astray on Tasha and James. They should have raised that boy better than that. Okay, they should have raised that boy better than that, because I promise you, 8, 18, or 88, you can't get me to say shit about my daddy or my mama or my siblings. That's not gonna happen. Okay, and I can say whatever I want to say, but you ain't finna come out your mouth and talk about my daddy and tell me what my daddy is and ain't. Never. Not at 8, not at 18, not at 88. I was raised better than that. Family is all you have. You stick with your family. I blame that lack of knowledge on Tasha and James. So busy trying to give your children all these material things, you don't even teach them how to matriculate in this world. Shame. Shame. Got this boy out here with this Chester. Anyway, y'all, sorry about that. So that's Tasha and the kids. Later on, we see the kids go see James in jail. And, he tells them, out of all the things that I've accomplished and done, you guys are my greatest accomplishment. Tariq is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when he goes into that schoolhouse after Tasha smashes that paparazzi camera, and he's confronted by some couple of white boy bullies, and the white boy bully said, hey, that gun you brought to school, is that the same gun your daddy used to kill Knox? And Tariq was like, maybe. And Raina was like, Tariq, no, mama told you not to even talk about that. I don't know who you are anymore, Tariq. And Tariq immediately calls Canaan. Immediately calls him and says, yeah, my dad's not getting out of jail. My mom wants us to go see him. You still think he's guilty? And Tariq says, Kanan says, hell yeah, he guilty. Hell yeah, he guilty. I saw the nigga kill it. You know what I'm saying? He is so self-assured. Trust me, he is guilty. But you still need to go see him. You still need to play the game. I got big plans for you. You can do this. You're smart. Now, you don't know this guy from Adam's house cat. You have no idea who this guy is. But you calling him and selling out your family at every turn. Okay, Tariq. So later on, when they, like I said, Ghost is trying to talk to him and assure them and tell them that he loves them and all of that. And he held it together. And Tariq is playing it cool. Yeah, no problem, Dad. He's like, you're the man in the house. I want you to, be in charge while I'm gone. How he gonna be in charge, Ghost? You ain't taught him nothing. You ain't taught him a Mickey freaking thing. You certainly haven't taught him how to ride or die for his family. You ain't taught him nothing like that. Okay, so Tariq is playing along. All right. Then let's talk about Tommy and Keisha. Keisha goes over to Tommy's house and she's supposed to be upset about the fact that Feds went to Tasha's house and she was there. Is her shop going to be next? Tasha just came in and just basically destroyed. And Tommy says, no, I got your back. But Ghost's name is not attached to your shop. Tasha's name is. And if we start moving things around where Tasha is concerned, it's really going to draw a red flag. And she tells him, you don't understand. I have a child I have to think about. You don't understand because you don't have a child. So, of course, he starts thinking about Holly. And I can't remember if he knew or not whether Holly was pregnant, if he found out later or not. But anyway, it kind of strikes a chord with him. He gives her a gentle touch on the shoulder. And she, trust me, I got you, I got you. And she's just like, oh. Later on, we see Tommy go over to Tasha's, but we're going to talk about this. First, let's talk about Tommy and Julio. Tommy and Julio trying to hold down this whole drug game. And but there's disrespect, from coming from Cristobal. Cristobal is, I guess, they're Latin Connect. And they're not really trusting Tommy. They had a little certain amount of trust in Ghost, but they're not really trusting Tommy, and they want to meet with the Connect themselves or get their own Connect or something. Anyway, Tommy's not having it, so he sends Julio over there to squash it all. And Julio goes over there with Marcus and another guy, and they weaklings. They weaklings. I like Julio. Julio's always been good muscle for Tommy, but these other two guys they got with them seem a little soft to me. They seem like they cake eaters. You know what I'm saying? Like they be somewhere eating when shit go down instead of being right there on the front lines making sure everything was straight. All right, that's what they seem like to me. Anyway, they go to talk to Cristobal, and Cristobal just does not have a lot of respect. Neither does his people. And so when they come out their mouth wrong, I think Domingo is his name, Domino something. Anyway, Domingo, I think that's his name, the one that hauled off and slapped Marcus, which is Julio's guy. And Julio does squash it. He, gets everybody apart and squashes and say, listen, sorry about your weight. No problem. Just for your trouble, I'll give you two extra packs on top of that. And Cristobal's like, okay, let's see how this works. And they go on. So later on, when Tommy finds out about, Domingo hitting Marcus in the face and the fact that Julio didn't do anything about it, Tommy takes things into his own hands. All right. Goes over there, snatches the guy out of his car, tells him he's got a head start to start running. Then he gets in the guy's car, chases him down, hits him, backs over him, makes him apologize, then makes him ask nicely for him to get his car. Can you please get my own car off my own femur, please? Please. Tommy is a Tasmanian devil. Point blank, period. No way around it. Okay. So he's all half cocked. Um, you know, he goes over to Keisha's house and they end up having sex together. It was okay. It could have been better. It was okay. Mm. I've seen better sex scenes on Power. I was expecting a little bit more. It was okay. And then later on, they all fully dressed and sitting on the couch and he's trying to put his shoes on and they having a talk about, have you ever played in the snow before? And she's like, no, it's too unpredictable. You never know how many inches you're gonna get. And he was like, well, damn, baby, you got you a blizzard. I was like, and Keisha immediately goes into talking about Tasha. Don't tell Tasha about us because everything nice that I get, she wants. She took Sean, she took my shop, all of that, and I'm like, really, Tasha? Keisha, this what we doing? Really, girl? Really, really? Why you even have to bring Tasha up? This about between you and them. If you gonna say don't tell nobody, don't tell nobody. This gonna be between me and you, point blank, period. I don't even want Tasha to know. And leave it like that. But for you to go on and drag your girl, really? I did not like that. I did not like that. So Tommy finds out about Sean. He finds out that Ghost knew about Sean. He finds out that Tasha was messing with Sean and that Keisha messed with him first. Like, Tasha, Keisha, what was that to talk about? Like, really? Girl, you don't understand. You don't understand how these things are being done out here in these streets. So, yeah, Tommy's on one. Okay, but he learns from Proctor that, they think that he's Ghost. They think that he is the drug kingpin and that they're probably going to be watching him, so be careful. And so he put some things in place. He got him a new car. The old car, he gave it to his junkie mama to drive around for a little while, and he told her, what to do if I get locked up. You know where my money is. You know where to, come get me out, right? Okay, great. No problem. Let's talk about Andre. Andre's at truth, and he seems like he settled into it real nice. Even though he was begging Ghost before he went to jail, he was begging Ghost to put him back in the drug game. He seems like he's okay with the legit life, kind of sort of, because he's talking to the crew there and he's telling them what we're gonna do. People order one bottles, we bring in two, we charge them for two or some kind of way, and we're gonna give them this little, it looked like a little matchbox, a little matchbox they used to put matchsticks in. It has truth across it. We give this to them when they order a specific bottle, right? So this specific bottle is not only for the bottle of champagne, but it's also for these drugs, right? And we gonna charge them like we charging them for two bottles, but we not gonna give them two bottles. We're gonna give them one bottle, and we're gonna give them these drugs. And so they all know the routine. They all know what's up, and they go on about their way to make this money, to get this money. Now we already know what's going on here. He's got to pay Jukebox and Kanan and the other dude, Snitchy, Ditchy, Twitchy, whatever his name is, $50,000 a week in order for them to stay away from Tariq. So, he's standing around looking over all the club that he surveyed, and Ghost called because Ghost has been told by Proctor that he needs to act more normal and start calling people and checking on his businesses. So he calls and checks on the business, and Dre tells him, I got everything handled, club's running smoothly. I've been talking to Karen just about every day. And Ghost is like, every day? And he's like, yeah, every day, because she was going to pull out of the expansion, but I've been kind of talking her down, and I think she's cool and calm, and things are going to be okay. And James is like, okay, all right, good deal, good deal. Gets off the phone with him, right? So later on, we see Kanan come over to see Andre. This was after Kanan sees Tariq. Because after Tariq has gone to see his dad and done all this stuff, he goes to see Kanan. Now, he's it I guess Kanan teaching him how to break into people's shit. All right. Tariq is sitting outside the apartment. Kanan shows him how to break into the house, how to use a credit card to slide somebody's door open. And Tariq is like, yeah, yeah, I got it now. I got it now. Really, Tariq? Okay. All right. So, yeah. So Tariq asked Slim, aka Chester, if he knows somebody named Kanan. Well, Kanan, he's taken aback a little bit. He's like, nah, nah, nah. There used to be a guy back from the hood that we all used to know, but he dead now. You don't have to worry about him. So Tariq is like, cool, 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 cool. Later on, when Kanan goes to see Andre, he meets him in the back corridor of the club, and Molly whops him and chokes him down to his socks, all the way down. Just and and Andre is like, oh. I mean, he is really afraid of Kanan. He is really, really afraid of Kanan. And Kanan says, you told Tariq about my name. You mentioned my name to Tariq. And he was like, no, I didn't. I swear I didn't. I thought you were supposed to leave Tariq alone anyway. That's what I'm paying you for. He said, now you paying me since you such a snitch and you talk so much. Now you paying me to stay out of your business or paying me to keep something. Anyway, he basically is saying what he didn't say the first time when Andre made the deal with him. I ain't never leaving Tariq alone. I'm gonna take goes down through his son, and I'm determined to do that. I don't care how much money you give. So, okay, Andre, you still got to pay this dude. You still got to pay this dude, and you get nothing from it. He running you. Now you want to tell somebody? Now you want to bring it up? Possibly. Possibly. Can't tell Ghost unless you write him a note. Unless you tell Proctor to tell him. I mean, this how long before you think this thing is gonna get out of hand for you? Okay, when Proctor goes and tries to use the media to sort of try Ghost in the media, but also to try and um just help his chances of getting out a little bit sooner. Mock it gets upset about it, and they decide to pick apart James St. Patrick's life, which means they raid the club. Now Andre is there when they raid the club. Okay. Now he don't call Proctor. He don't call Tasha. He don't call Tommy. He don't call nobody. He just let them come in and scour the club. And Sandoval is there. And Sandoval goes into Ghost's office, which we already know the Ghost keep his office both bugged and videoed, and has the gun in the bar. Okay. And they of course find the gun, and this is how they go to the grand jury and talk to the grand jury about indicting them, and they get a murder one case, and they also gonna seek the death penalty. All right, this is all everything that Angela has put in place in her vendetta against Ghost. This is all falling back on both Tommy and Tasha, as well as now Truth. All right. Now Truth has been brought into because the murder weapons has been found at Truth. And Andre's none the wiser. Andre still is not talking to anybody. You trying to skim off the top, which is gonna get you popped. Okay, you and Keisha gonna share the same doggone grave. All right, hole in the ground. And you don't call nobody when the police come a knocking. I don't understand that, but I digress. So let's go ahead and talk about our auxiliary characters. You guys know we're going to do this now because we already know that our auxiliary characters are the ones that make the show. They are the ones that usually end up being dead. So, we try to get them honorable mentions. So we're gonna talk about Tony Terese. Tony Terese is the guy that Mock whose Mock whose case Mock was handling in episode 1. Well, John Mock dropped his case to take Ghost's case. So he wants to know a little bit more about Ghost. And when Ghost is in jail, he's being harassed by a prisoner who is trying to be sexually assertive with him. And Ghost just gave him a real slick, quiet, ain't nobody watching, snapped his wrist real quick. And Tony Terese sees it all. And so he tells the guy going about his business. Evidently, he's big wig there in jail. Later on, when he's talking to his wife, he finds out his wife's got like 18 months. She can't come up and see him by herself. They don't have any children. He needs to get out and help his wife because she's terminal without money for this experimental treatment. So when he's talking to his lawyer about the case and about who Ghost is and about how he can help his wife, he realizes that James St. Patrick owns Truth and that he's friends with Tommy Egan. And when the lawyer says Tommy Egan, he's like, Egan, where did Ghost grow up? Brooklyn, Bronx, somewhere like that. One of those B's. And it's at this moment Tony realizes he knows Tommy. Now, is this Tommy's daddy or uncle? We don't know. We don't know. I don't remember him. I remember him from other shows. I don't remember him from this show. Y'all let me know. Put it down below. But I'm like, oh, this about to get good. This is about to get good. And see, he's gonna sidle up to James because he feel like James got money, and that money, if he protect James in there, possibly he can get some money to help he's trying to figure out how he can use James and James's situation to help his wife, basically. So we're gonna put a pin in him. All right. Then let's talk about Julio. Julio just don't handle shit like Tommy. He don't. First of all, Julio has a very, very good relationship with Ghost. And it would probably behoove him to go see Ghost. But he can't do that because Ghost is being watched at all times. They really, really do need to try to talk to Proctor and see if they can't get Ghost to run things from jail. But Ghost got bigger fish to fry. Me, myself, I'm concerned about Julio because he's a terrible Tommy. He's got too much common sense to be the Tommy in this game. All right. Then we're going to talk about Mock. Mock has a hard on for Proctor. Okay. And he tries to get a gag order. He don't want Proctor talking to the press. That's a fail. He launches a raid on Truth, which yields that gun that Sandoval hid there. And then he goes and gets manslaughter 1 or murder 1 and the death penalty. Oh, I just always ask for it just in case. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They don't care nothing about him being innocent. Now, we know Ghost is guilty of a lot of things, but in this case, he's not guilty of it. And to see the lengths that they will go through to basically wipe him off the map, to put him out of commission with no regard for him or his family or the possibility of his innocence, I mean, says a lot to me. So, also they put a tail on, thanks to Angela, they put a tail on Tommy's Mustang. But good thing he gave the Mustang to his mama to drive around for a little while. So they're going to be in a tailspin drive, running after that cokehead. And he's also the one that has lit a fire under this whole Tommy investigation. Okay, so Sandoval. Ooh, Sandoval is in deep with the cover up game. He hid that gun in James's office. I'm almost sure he's been caught on camera. I'm just waiting for it to all come out. And when Angela tells him she doesn't believe that Ghost is dumb enough to leave that gun just laying around his office like that, and he's like, don't worry about it. I'm sure he was planning on, going back and get it and got arrested before he had a chance to do it. But Angela and Sandoval both a little stunned when they realize that Mock is going for the death penalty. All right, so then we see Holly. Holly was brought up twice in this episode. So the Holly situation is going to come back in one way or another. Now, either Tony Terese knows Tommy Egan, or he knew Holly. Something is going on with this dynamic, and I can't wait to see what's going on. Proctor. Proctor is another slick one. At the same time he wanted Tommy, he trying to get a re-up for his wife on the cocaine. But then when he go to talk to Ghost, he tell Ghost that he ought to snitch on Tommy, because that's what they eventually gonna want. They're gonna want him to turn on Tommy, and he thinks that Ghost should turn on Tommy. But you don't know Ghost and Tommy. You don't know Ghost and Tommy. They go way back. Kanan tried that same shit and it failed. All right. The last thing we're gonna talk about is Angela Tasha going to see Angela after she finds out that Ghost is they're seeking the death penalty in Ghost's case, and he's been indicted for murder. One, she goes to see her and she says, "You had my kids here in your house, and this is how you do their daddy." I'm like, why are you trying to play the sympathy card on this chick? She slept with a married man repeatedly. Um, and Angela just tells her, "This is what you need to know since you believe Ghost is so innocent. Knox was my boyfriend. When I met Ghost at Truth, I already had a boyfriend. That boyfriend was Knox." And 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 Angela is just, Tasha is just like, what? She's looking, and she's just like, "If you weren't a cop, I whoop your ass." And she says, "But I am a cop, so please leave." And then she tells Tasha as she's rounding the corner, "If for what it's worth, I wish I had never went to Truth that night." And Tasha said, "That's one thing we do agree on." And she walks off. I can't wait till the two of them get to fighting like Diane Carroll and Alexis Carrington. Okay, Alexis Colby Carrington. I cannot wait. Okay, you guys, that is it for Power. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you guys think about Tommy and Keisha smashing and then trashing Tasha? Like, that was a little uncalled for to me. What do you guys think about this Tommy Terese thing? What is happening with that? Did I miss something from season 1 through 3? Have I missed something? Y'all let me know. Y'all think it's Tommy's dad? Did he know Holly? What's going on? They brought up Holly twice, which leads me to believe that the Holly situation is coming back. And I did see on the cast list that she was slated to show up in 2017. Probably not in person, but her memory, like a dream sequence type thing. So we'll see. Let's see what else. What do y'all think about this Tariq and Kanan's situation? This is bad. What about Andre? Why won't Andre tell somebody? Somebody, he could have moved his family by now. God dog, I hate a stupid man. I don't like. That's it for me, you guys. Please remember, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much to everybody who is already subscribed. Hit that thumbs up button. It's important, as well as leave a comment down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah. I'll holla. Ooh, next week gonna be good, y'all. Stay tuned.